They said, hello, Blair? I said, hello. Agents? And they said, Blair, do you have an OnlyFans called Blair Socky Ankles Down No Hole? And I said yes, because I was verified as hell. And they said, you have to take that down immediately because you auditioned for Disney. A lot. And casting directors are gonna think you're doing porn. And I said, oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. No, no, no. No, they will not think I'm doing porn because it says Blair Socky Ankles Down, no hole. No hole. No hole. Nobody's confused. Not Disney or my guys. So then I was forced at gunpoint to take it down after 24 hours. I was robbed that day. I said, I'm sorry, I've been doing my part to prevent school shooters in America. What have you guys been doing? Yeah, I would have done 100K in 3 months. Bella Thorne would have been crying because there's a new bitch in town. Now the only thing I have left is just to randomly once in a while show my feet on my Instagram just as a nod to my guys to be like, yeah, I miss you. I see you. I'll never forget everything we shared. We were all robbed.
I grew up in a small town called Crossville. And when I tell people in Los Angeles where I live, like, hey, I'm from a small town in Tennessee, and they're always like, oh, like Chattanooga? I'm like, no. That's a city. They're like, no, it's I've been there, it's like a small town. No. No, that's a city. I don't even know how to explain to you what a small town is now. Okay, here's how small the town I'm from is. When I was in 5th grade, my older cousin went to a field party, got in a fight, and killed a dude. In high school, the dead dude's sister asked me to the prom. That's a small town. Not a lot of options. I had to decline her offer, though, because my father made a solid point when he went, I don't know about that. She might have forgot, but I don't think her daddy did. People in the South love that joke so much. They love it. People outside the South just get sad. People in the South are like, those are just two good daddies right there. That's all that is. You gotta play the hand dealt with you, man. That's what it is. I did that joke on the Conan O'Brien program a couple years ago, and I thought it was like a clever way to be like, hey, here's who I am and where I'm from, in a funny, put it together. And America would be like, yeah. But no. All America wanted to know was like, tell me about that murder. Is there like a podcast I can listen to? 48 hours? First 48. ID channel. Forensic Files. My favorite murder. I was like, I think it's just a normal murder. I don't know. And they won't let it go. They just stand there looking at me like, well, tell me about that murder. I'm like, I wasn't there. I was in 5th grade. I think you had to be in 6th grade to get to that party. But I realized like people want to hear about this thing. And I've also realized like it has shaped who I am as a human being, and it's probably why my sense of humor is kind of dark. So I'm going to talk about some messed up stuff here in a little bit in a very hysterical way. And that's how I handle trauma in my life. Is I make it super funny and then I charge people to come hear about it. So, if that bothers you, you should go now, because it's going to get weird. Because some fun stuff happened when I was in 5th grade. So, there's one lady, yay, dark stuff. Which is a weird voice to hear that. Yay, I like that. So what happened? This country strong man, and I'm in Colorado, I don't have to really explain what that is, but other places I do. They're like the movie? I'm like, no, what? No. No, country strong is like, it's someone that's not like ripped or shredded. They're mostly fat, but it's the strongest person you've ever seen in your whole life. They fight like this. I learned from cartoons, I've never lost. You just hear them say stuff like, Daddy got the tractor stuck, so I had to pull it out. Well, Country Strong decided to do all the cocaine he could find in our little county. And as I get older, I realized that was probably not mostly cocaine. We were in the middle of Tennessee, which is a landlocked state. Not a lot of direct flights from Columbia. Hell, it could have just been fiberglass and lightning bug juice. You know what I mean? A little Kodiak for taste. So he did all of it. And I don't know if you guys have ever done cocaine, but you're here. So I assume you've smelled it. You know, when you do cocaine, it motivates you to do the worst thing you've ever wanted to do. And you're like, tonight's the night. I have the confidence. Let's do it. Yeah, this is a great idea. Yeah. How can this go wrong? Let's do some more. Well, that dude, Country Strong, he's like, you know, I've always wanted to do a murder, you know? It's in there. I'm going to do it tonight. So he showed up at the party. He found a little dude because he's not dumb. He went over and he picked him up and he started strangling him. And the dude was just dangling. And people at the party were like, stop it. He was like, I got it. Like, you're killing him. He's, yeah. Stop. Okay. And then my cousin had a gun at a party that never gets a laugh anymore. Whole country just looks at me like, mm-hmm. Man had a party pistol, what about it? Well, my cousin pulls out his party pistol. He's like, hey, stop. And he's like, I got it. He's like, I'm gonna shoot you. And he was like, I was here first. So my cousin shot him in the shoulder, in the back, and that will make you stop killing who you're killing. But what it also does is gives you new motivation and a new target to do murder to. Because he just turned around, old Country Strong, and just made a beeline for my cousin, and my cousin shot him twice in the chest. That will kill you every time. The first one, you're like, hey. Second one, you're like, got me. My cousin tried to perform CPR, but, it didn't work. So the guy died. I told you in the beginning what happens. Every time I tell this, people get sad right there. And I Tarantino the hell out of this story. And tell you in the beginning, and still you guys are like, oh.
I get angry when a system is broken or stupid or doesn't make sense. That's what pisses me off. And I don't direct it at anyone. Like when you're on a plane and the plane would land, and then 10 minutes before they open the doors, everyone else on the plane stands up and just stands there putting their bags on and banging each other in the face like this. And you're just sat there in your seat, quite justifiably thinking, pack of twats! Just perfectly reasonable communal garden anger, or if you're in the bank, there's 3 desks, 2 of them are open, a customer at each, 3 people in the queue in front of you. You're thinking, right, this will take no time at all. This will be fine. Then you find yourself sort of hanging around, going, well, come on, there's no movement up ahead. A few more people join the queue. You're starting to rumble. Oh, God, come on, this can't be how you're supposed to do. No, it's fine. And then a third cashier turns up. You're thinking, thank goodness. They whisper something to the second one. Turns out what they've whispered is, it's getting busy, isn't it? Do you fancy a vape? And then they leave. One desk, 30 people now in the queue. And what saves me is that I'm so volatile, I just flip. I'm so emotional that all it takes, I've got all this energy, oh, for God's sake. And all it takes is one person in the queue in front of me to actually have an audible meltdown. And I do an emotional 180. I'm there going, for God's sake. All it takes, one person to go, oh, for God's sake. Suddenly I flip. I'm like, hey, baby, relax. It's just the bank, man. It's just money. I mean, what is money? What are the guys behind the desks, man? They're us. They're us, aren't they? They're the same guys. They're the people. We're all the people. We're all made out of stars. What even is time? It's just a shared illusion. Don't normally do this under coloured fairy lights. It's kind of... Sure, baby, I'll leave the premises. Yeah, cool. They say when you become a parent, you recognise that you are no longer the picture, but the frame. That's a weird concept. You're not the picture anymore, you're the frame. Do you get what I mean by that? It's like you're no longer the star of the movie of your life. You're not even the camera crew. You're just catering. That's it. And I've got these 2 friends. I'm not showing off, at least 2. And I've known them 20 years. They're a married couple. They're both about 5 years older than me. And as long as I've known them, I've been secretly sort of not quite copying their life, but I've been noticing the challenges they go through 5 years ahead of when I might and trying to glean information from them. They're like the canary in the coal mine, the dog in the space shuttle, they're the mouse on the unapproved antidepressants, right? I'm following them. What happens? You do that? You do? Okay, fine. I realised very recently, my friend Tom, he's 5 years younger than me, and he's been doing the same thing to me and my life the whole time, right? They're ahead of me on the timeline. He's behind. He's copying me. There are people 5 years younger than him copying him. They're doing it to people 5 years older than them. And all of us are just clinging grimly to this rope, like Shackleton through the Antarctic, howling advice to one another across the frozen tundra. What happens next? You're not gonna like it! And you're not gonna like it, are you? Because the people right at the end of the rope, They're just looking out over a crevasse. There's very little point in persevering. What's that? Something about persevering. Righto, we'll keep on persevering. And it's pointless trying to give each other advice because today's advice is meaningless tomorrow because the terrain shifts so fast. You're there in the middle thinking, what are you going to do for money when you get too old to work? That's easy. That's when the pension kicks in, right? Shit. Did you guys get a pension? We don't need one. We've got Bitcoin. Okay. Let me know how that works out. It's insane. It's like the advice we got given the first time. We were pregnant. Yeah, we. Get over yourselves. People hate that. We were pregnant. Yeah, we got pregnant again because as it happens, apparently we couldn't keep it in my pants. The advice we got given the first time was very simple. It was always the same. Go and enjoy yourself. Go to the cinema. Go for meals out. Have fun while you can. The advice we're shouting down the line to Tom, 5 years younger than me, thinking about starting a family, the advice now is very different. The advice now is just, get money. That's the advice. Get money, and if you can, high ground. Because the one thing I was really unprepared for was the fact that I was going to become a breadwinner. For some reason, I hadn't given that any thought. I'm a breadwinner. I have to win bread. Very few places offer bread as a prize. Apparently, I've got to win it. The younger people in the room might be thinking, well, just buy the bread. You can't buy the bread, you idiots. You buy the bread, you take it back to the nest. They're like, they know. You did buy this, right? Did you buy it? You buy it. It tastes bought. No, I won it. Won it fair and square. Was it casino, was it? No, funny story. Bumped into a duck on the way home. Correctly guessed his secret name. Any other breadwinners in? Any breadwinners? No one. Just a bunch of you, bunch of bread losers. Great. But everything's now, people talk about the gig economy. It's so weird. My job is, I'm so free, right? Comedy, stand-up comedy is the ultimate 0 hours contract, right? If I want, I'm so free, I'm free as a bird. If I want to stop working, ever, I can just die. Oh, it's extraordinary. I don't want to paint my wife as some sort of grasping, bread-hungry churl. No, far from it. We get on. She's great. We have very different leadership styles, me and my wife. We're both natural leaders. I think that's quite unusual for a couple. We're two leaders. Most couples, a lot of couples, I think, is one leader, one follower. And if you're in a couple now and you're thinking, I wonder which one I am, I've got some bad news. Some couples, presumably, 2 followers, but we don't hear much from them because they don't get out. But a few couples, I think, a small percentage of couples, 2 leaders. Now, I don't like to ask at shows, are there any couples in where it's 2 leaders? Because one time at a gig, at the back of the room, a little voice went, yep. And then there was a pause, and another voice went, no, you're not. And it was... you don't want to do harm, you know. So, but I think me and my wife, it's true. We're 2 leaders. We've got different leadership styles. So I'm more like a loose maverick MacGyver. You know, I'm like a kind of rolling, adaptable kind of a leader, whereas my wife actually gets things done. So it's... We have to separate, we have to divvy up the labour. You know, I'm in charge of mowing the lawn, packing the car, lifting things. And my wife is the architect of all of our futures. Don't look at me like that. I'm good at packing. I pull my weight. It's my I'm so good at packing. It's my dream one day to be going through a supermarket checkout, and when the lady says, do you need any help packing? By the end of the sentence, she realises she's in a bag for life. I just moonwalk. I climb up on the conveyor belt and pretend to moonwalk out, just slowly like that. That would be the plan. The reason I'm giving you this insight into my marital dynamic is to explain why, at the age of 44, my wife is currently trying to organise a grown-up play date for me to go on with another man in order that I make a friend. I want to be absolutely clear about this. I'm not lonely, but I moved to Bristol. I moved to a foreign city at the same time as I became a dad. So I don't get the chance to meet other dads, right? They all socialise during the evening and work during the day. I have to socialise during the day because I work in the evening because of you. And so I don't get to see them. It's just not fair. My wife can walk up to any other mum and go, hey, we should get a coffee. Should we be friends? Suddenly they're friends. Doesn't work like that for men, does it? Not the system at all. No, the system for male friendships is you've got the kids you knew at school, minus one who died, and that's it. And that's how it's always been. That's how it's supposed to be. So we met this guy. We met this one guy. Ollie was his name. We met him at, at a toddler rave. That's a thing. 3 hours of banging techno on a Sunday afternoon. Load of haggard parents at the side of a church hall. 100 kids with their tops off, ripped to the tits on fruity pouches. I remember this one specifically because it was, there's always a costume theme, and this particular one was superheroes, right? And there was one particularly attractive younger mum had come dressed as Catwoman, and all of the other mums were like, oh, fuck off. It was just great. We met Ollie, our kid was playing with his kid, and then eventually we chatted for 5 minutes, and then his kid ran off, Ollie followed him, and that was that. And then ever since then, my wife has been stalking him on Instagram in order to pimp him to me as a potential friend. Right? So I'll be washing up, and she'll sidle up to me and be like, have you seen Ollie's into martial arts and board games? And you like board games and talking about martial arts? And suddenly it's put me in the position, I'm like a kid on my first day at nursery going, I don't want to go, like that. Because I don't know how to package myself as a potential friend for a grown man. I just don't know how to do it. I've written and then deleted an introductory text to him, God knows how many times. Hello, mate. Hey, friendo. Ew, who am I? I don't even talk with the friends in my life that I love. My mate, my best mate, Noel, right? We've known each other since we were 11. We've travelled the world together. I love the bones of him, right? And I will see him for a cheeky pint once in a blue moon. It's a running joke in our household. I'll come home and my wife will go, how's Noel? And I literally won't understand the question. How is he? How is he? How is Noel? He is simply Noel. Immutable, unchanging. He reminds me of me, I remind him of him. That's why we hang out with each other. I can tell you what he thought of the movie The Suicide Squad. Is that what you mean? Is that how he is? And then she'll say something weird like, but hasn't his mum been ill? I don't know. How do you know that? Stop asking my friends questions, you weirdo. Because we don't speak with each other, we just talk at each other. We sit and conversationally groom one another like a pair of orangutans on a log in Borneo, picking fleas out of each other's fleece. Did you like the film? Yeah, yes, I did like it. You were like me. Yes, I am. Yeah. Did you enjoy Black Mirror the other day? Yes, I didn't like it to begin with, but then I did like it by the end. Yes, I'm the same, yeah. And tell me, are you playing that the Red Dead Redemption game on the PlayStation? No, I've had to stop playing that. It's a little bit too immersive. Yes, I'm the same. Talked about this at a show in Bristol. A stranger tweeted me the following day, Stu, hey, really enjoyed the stuff about the grown-up play date. Just so you know, my friend Clive lives in Bristol and he's free during... That's not what this is! This is not some sort of pathetic, platonic pickup line. I'm not coming out here going, hello, men. I am very lonely and I wish to play Settlers of Catan.